Yeah, actually, what went through my mind was I just wanted to break free. That was there in my mind, and that was the
Mm,
brief that Karan sir also gave me very clearly. That only thing she wants to do is break free. Now, enough.
mm,
This is her way of saying enough. It was very, very challenging in terms
mm,
of emotionally challenging, not in
mm,
performance, but to
mm,
understand that women really go through that today. And now, as easily as I can tell my friends, my boys
mm,
who are my friends, or my husband that I'm going through periods, that was not the case when I was growing up and when I got my periods. People were not even saying periods. As
correct.
easily,
We
I
wouldn't
used
say
to
it.
call it chums,
Mm.
which is friends.
Good morning. This is Sarika Sharma, editor entertainment Moneycontrol. Joining us today is acclaimed actor Kshitee Jog, who's known for her versatile work across Marathi cinema, Hindi movies, TV, and theatre. She brings quiet strength and emotional depth to her latest film, Baai Tujhyapayi, a poignant story set in the 1990s about a young girl's fight against regressive traditions that silence women. We welcome Kshitee for this warm conversation.
Thank
So, welcoming you to Money Control. So, this movie is talking about the taboos that are still prevalent in the society, but in the rural areas, we would say more. So, what made you say yes to this role of a mother?
So, first, why I initially said yes was because the director called me up, Nipun Dharmadhikari. He is a renowned director. I wanted to work with him for a very long time. And when he called me, there was no chance I would say no. And then
Mm.
he told me that it is initially a remake of a Tamil web show called
Yeah,
on Z5.
yeah, yeah.
And then I saw the show. I saw the first two episodes of that show.
Mm.
And I just thought that this is a story which is timeless. It's
Mm.
not whether it is happening in our country today, whether it is happening around me, but it has been there. Maybe the degrees have changed,
Mm.
but the problem is still there.
Mm.
And I wanted to be a part of a story which is again timeless, which is about
Yeah.
empowerment, which is about progress,
Mm.
which is about everything that we want to see a change in the society today. So
Mm.
that is one of the main reasons why I wanted to do it.
And considering that though times have changed, but they haven't really changed.
Right.
If you see it, this story, this kind of a story about women, if you see a lot of dowry related deaths also happening and everything. So
Hmm.
this story finds its viewers. But do you also, what part of it actually moved you as as an actor while doing this?
Oh, it was very, very challenging in terms
Mm.
of emotionally challenging, not in
Mm.
performance, but to
Mm.
understand that women really go through that today. And while we were shooting, I was interacting with a lot of women of the village where we were shooting in and around Bhur,
Okay.
Maharashtra. So
Mm.
when I was interacting with them, I realized that it is still going on. When they are on their periods, they don't cook at home.
Yeah.
They still sit outside. They don't, that is not a pressure for them. It is
Mm.
not something that they want to change because they think it's normal. Now, the
Mm.
one way of looking at it, why it actually must have started few years and ages ago, must have been that because we were used to live in a joint family, the woman
Mm.
needs rest for those 4 days because the
Mm.
body is going through a lot and therefore her mind is going through a lot. But somehow over the period of time, it changed, which is also
Yeah.
in the show. In the
Mm.
show, it doesn't. It is all about wrong norms. It is about
Mm.
blind faith. It is
Yeah.
about superstition and being orthodox.
Mm.
Because actually, we act in the show also, we are actually praying to a goddess, which is the irony of it all.
Yeah.
That and
Yeah.
we have so many goddesses that we pray to, but yet some part of the society or some sections of the society are still treating women like that. So all
Mm.
this while we were performing, the emotional challenges of it were they were really really big. I mean, we had to
Mm.
cope up with it every day. Me and Sajiri, who played Ahilya in the show,
Mm. Mm.
we actually used to come back and say that this is still going on today in time, today's
Mm.
time and world. Maybe we don't realize it. We were privileged enough to being brought up
Yeah.
in such kind of families that they
Yeah.
that is not looked upon as a taboo, but it's still there.
Yeah. And relationship between Lakshmi and Ahilya, a mother who's actually quietly, like initially it's shown that she's not supportive. See, I've seen a few episodes.
Yeah,
So, but it looks as though she's also just another mother who's trying to maybe follow the traditions blindly. But towards as the story grows, she's a silent supporter.
correct.
of her
because
daughter.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I really think it's every mother's story. Maybe the
Mm.
struggles are different, the fight is different,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it is about every mother. And this
Mm.
woman who has been brought up in the same village, she's seen this custom for all her life. So for her, there's nothing wrong in it.
Mm.
Unless somebody actually raises a question saying why can't we
Mm.
keep praying to the goddess, our goddess, who's our mother, and still study? And what has our study got to do with praying? What has my
Mm.
education got to do with the fact that I got my periods?
Yes.
All these questions, when she asks them to the mother, and the mother realizes that no, my daughter has a right to dream, and I don't want to follow this, and I want to change it for my daughter. I think that's
Mm.
the biggest strength any woman can get when it comes to her child. We've seen so many
Mm.
women fight the
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
and here she knows that the girl is right, the daughter is right,
Mm.
she can become
Yeah.
something if she really puts some mind to it.
Yeah. As a woman yourself, do you think that this role also resonates with you personally? Like, um, did it make you revisit any certain beliefs that were, like when we were children, we've grown up in the 70s era,
Correct.
70s and 80s era. We've seen our grandparents say certain things to us and we've followed. But
Hmm.
over the periods, they seem to have vanished. So did
Hmm.
you also, come across such things, or did it give a recall?
A lot many things actually. The character, the only difference between I think Lakshmi and me is that I am very vocal about my likes and dislikes, and
Mm, mm,
probably she is not. But that also comes from the
mm,
background that we come from. And yes, there are a lot many practices like that. Luckily, not in my house, but I have still seen women or my girlfriends when I got my periods when I was in school. So
yeah.
then suddenly, don't talk to boys anymore.
Huh.
You can't talk to boys at all.
Yeah.
Or you at home also, you can't touch that, you can't eat this, you can't eat. Now there is a logic actually behind it of not eating spicy food. Don't have too
Mm,
much achar because heat बढ़ जाती है, then it will trouble you. But it wasn't told to us in that particular way.
yeah.
It was
Right.
told to us कि नहीं इसमें ये नहीं करते. Nobody
Mm,
actually gave us the logic of it, which was actually right, that don't eat
mm,
spicy food. Why do you eat? Why women were given extremely simple food when they were in their period so that it's easy on their stomach and their gut.
yeah.
But
Right.
these logics nobody gave us, or have
Mm,
not given my girlfriends, and I know that they were being
mm,
told that don't eat achar, don't eat spicy food,
mm,
you can't do this, you can't eat pani
yeah.
puri. That's, I think, if we give a logical reasoning, which actually is the reason, things will get very, very smooth. So those
Mm,
kind of things I saw a lot when I was growing
mm.
up, because I
And
was an
you,
80s child,
yeah.
so I have seen it with my friends and in
Yes.
and around this, that yeah, this was happening. People were not even saying periods.
Mm,
As
you're right.
easily,
We
I
wouldn't say
used to
it.
call it
Huh.
chums,
Mm,
which is friends. Then somebody
mm,
in my family, though we were
mm,
speaking about it very easily, we used to say
mm,
Maushi Ali, which means your aunt
mm.
has come,
Okay.
which is now as easily as I can tell my friends, my boys
Mm,
who are my friends, or my husband, that I'm going through periods. That was
mm,
not the case when I was growing up and when I got my periods. It was always
mm.
Maushi Ali, which which is strange, which is stupid, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And you moved very easily between Marathi cinema, Hindi, movies, theater. So each has its own rhythm. They have their own audience. How do you adapt yourself according to these? Like switching from Marathi is your native also, but Hindi, we've seen you a lot. I've
Yeah.
seen you in Ye Rishta Kya Kehlata. I've seen you in Rocky and Rani. I've seen you in many TV shows as well and in
Right.
movies as well. How do you switch between these mediums?
I don't really know. I don't really look at it like that. Other than the language, yes. Because when I'm constantly working in Marathi, then to
Mm,
switch back to Hindi, which is also
mm,
because I've been born and brought up in Mumbai, I had a lot of
uh,
cosmopolitan friends. So Hindi
uh,
was like a second language to me because that is
uh,
what we spoke in college and in and around my friends.
mm,
That's the only difference for in my mind. It is only switching from one language to another, and because maybe I haven't spoken Hindi for a while, if I'm doing too much Marathi work, then
uh-huh,
it takes a little while to easily switch to Hindi. And if I'm doing
mm,
Hindi too much, though Marathi is my mother tongue, I speak Marathi at home, but it still takes a little while to shift to Marathi. I think that is the only difference in my mind. Otherwise, I just think it's work. It's just what I do.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't really.
Because people say accent aa jata hai na.
हाँ, correct,
There's
correct.
this little accent. You remember Abhi Deepika also spoke about it that though I'm the voice of Meta right now, but when I had entered Bollywood, people made fun of poked fun at my accent at that time, like
Hmm.
11 or 12 years ago. So
Hmm.
do you also need to fix that accent at times?
Uh, I actually, now to be very honest, I don't have a problem with the accent,
Hmm.
mine or anyone else's,
Hmm.
because unless I understand that if I'm playing a Punjabi character, if there is a little Marathi that comes to it, I need to be a little more careful. But there are people who tell you that. But other than
Hmm.
that, I think everybody has an accent.
Hmm.
Somebody who's from Delhi has, like yourself, you have a Delhi accent. जब आप हिंदी बोलोगे तो समझ में आता है कि आप दिल्ली से हो. मैं
Hmm.
बोलती हूँ तो समझ मेरे वर्ड्स ही हिंदी के कुछ ऐसे हैं जो बम्बई
हाँ,
हिंदी से आते हैं. So
हाँ.
it's and somebody who is from, say, down south, somebody from
Hmm.
Karnataka speaks with that accent. I think
Yeah.
we, in a country like India, which is so diverse, it's really silly to point somebody's accent out because I think
Hmm.
it's just naturally that Gujarati person speaking Hindi, no matter how,
हाँ.
there are few words which in their mind are spoken in a little that accent. So when you're
Yeah.
playing a character, yes, we need to be a little more careful, but I don't really let it bother my work so much.
Mm. And we saw you as a mother who wants to, especially in Rocky or Rani. If I talk about that particular scene where, you are shown as a very docile person who's always ready to listen, but there is something simmering inside within her.
Hmm.
And then
Hmm.
that Indian Idol scene that comes, the
Yeah,
singing
yeah.
competition that what was going through your mind? What was it that went through your mind that you did it so perfectly and everybody actually noticed it in that such a big commercial movie?
Uh, yeah, actually, what went through my mind was I just wanted to break free. That was there in my mind, and that was the
Mm,
brief that Karan sir also gave me very clearly. That the only thing she wants to do is break free. Now, enough.
mm,
This is her way of saying enough. I
mm,
have had enough.
mm,
I think that was the brief that was going on in my mind as well
mm,
when I was playing doing that particular scene, and especially with everybody in and around me, we all knew that it was a very important scene. It changes the course of the film in that sense. So I think this mm, I somehow I attract that kind of those kind of roles where women kind of break free and
yeah,
actually, yeah, and I'm very glad
yeah,
I do. I
yeah,
hope I keep doing that. I hope I keep
yeah.
attracting.
Your role in Yerishta was also
Yes.
like that only because I saw it. I followed it very religiously over
Yeah.
the period, over the time. So that's why. And also, after Rocky or Rani it became very successful, but we've not seen you doing that repetitive roles. So, like I've seen your recent interviews also, where you say that why are people afraid of getting typecast? But
Yeah.
when I was talking to Mona Singh 2 days ago, and she was saying, "Ki, thank God I was not typecast. I was being offered roles, but they were different." So, how do you see it that you're not typecast and still you get good roles?
No, I when I choose a role, I see what the role's importance is in the entire project. What does that role, what does that character do in the entirety of the project? So after Rocky or Rani, there were two, three films that were approached to me, but the character had nothing to perform. Now
Mm,
again, I have done two films. I have shot for one. I'm shooting for another Hindi, where also it's a mother, but the
mm,
role has something to offer in the entirety of the project.
mm,
And
mm,
it has never bothered me what is the length of the role. How much do I
mm,
enjoy doing it? I just
mm,
don't want to play a docile mother who
mm,
has no say, who doesn't
mm.
have any opinion. I
Yeah,
don't want to do that. Like, that is not the mother I have seen and that is not the mother I want to portray. Unless she is going to break free and do something, like
yeah.
it was in Rocky or Rani. So yeah, I
Uh,
don't worry about being playing mother all the time. What I worry about is that I hope my every mother is different. I get something more to the table than just being a mother. But
yeah.
otherwise, I'm not worried about that at all as an actor. Doesn't worry me.
What do you have to say about OTT and theater existing parallelly?
It's
Right now,
good.
post 2020, you would say that OTT is revolutionized. Earlier, we
Yes.
were not watching so much, consuming so much content on OTT.
I look at
Now,
it very positively.
mm,
Very, very. Because I think
mm,
because of OTT,
mm,
because of the shows like Bai Tujhyapayi, for
mm,
example, because of that show came into people's houses. We see it
Mm,
on our TV, on our phone. So these
mm,
kind of subjects people are now ready to see. So
mm.
tomorrow, if I have to make a film about something like this, it has opened a door for me.
Yeah.
And with the success of Baai Tujhyapayi right now, the kind of messages I keep getting on all the social media
Mm,
platforms, I realize that people are not shying away from watching it. They're watching it.
mm. Yeah.
Don't feel कि अरे ये मुझे नहीं देखना, उनको
Mm,
देखना है। अब ये
mm,
जब घर तक आ जाता है तब इसके लिए एक बड़ा वो करके मैं थिएटर में जाऊंगी। I think
mm.
because we see shows from because of OTT, I see shows in Tamil, see shows in Telugu, Malayalam,
Yeah.
Punjabi, different kind of language, different
Yeah. Yeah.
languages, or even
Yeah.
like Korean shows, Spanish
Mm,
shows. Are we perceive things more rightly? We are more
mm,
empathetic towards storytelling. We are more hopeful. So I think that it is helping each other. I look at it very, very positively, and I don't think the experience that a movie can give you, an OTT platform can give you, and vice
mm,
versa. There are some
mm,
stories that you need to get out of the house and watch them on big screen.
mm.
And there are some stories and some projects which you need to sit in your intimate space of in your house, in your safe space, and see them. I think they're
But
good
you know,
mediums, yeah.
yeah, yeah. But you know, I had a few conversations with actors, and they said that if there's a good gap between a theatrical release and an OTT release of that particular movie or a movie only, so it will benefit the theaters. Do you
Yes.
also believe that?
Yes, this I believe in, definitely. The fact
Mm,
that movies are immediately coming on OTT platforms. Now, there is a
mm,
lot of money involved in all of this. It is
mm,
very easy for
yeah.
me to sit and say that, don't put it on OTT immediately. But
Mm,
the
mm,
producers have put in money, and that is their way of recovering the money that they have put in, then
mm,
why not? But it's
mm,
very intertwined. We need to find way. Like if I know
mm,
that any of my films is going to do great in theater, I will hold the film and give it on
mm,
an OTT platform a little later.
mm.
But because
Like, for example, yeah,
yeah,
Kanta.
but every time that doesn't happen. So
Ah, right.
also, as producers, also they need to be safe. So there is a lot of money involved.
Mm,
But this, by logic, this is right that if films are not immediately put on OTT, there will be more footfall in theaters, is what I think.
mm. And what kind of content does really excite you? What kind of content do you want to work in? Like,
Oh,
only
work.
serious or only or funny
Oh
also or
no, I have
comedy?
done, no, no. I love to do light-hearted things. They
Ah,
are
I've seen you in the time.
Yeah, because also like a show like Bai Tujhyapayi is emotionally
Mm,
challenging, like I said.
yeah,
So
yeah.
sometimes you need to do something which is not emotionally challenging, maybe challenging
Yeah.
as an actor, but
Mm,
not emotionally challenging.
mm,
So I would love to do it. I like things which has hope. I
mm,
hope is I don't like to be a part of something which is not going to give me hope, which is going to make me feel sad as an audience. As an
mm,
audience, I am a fan of things कि सब ठीक हो जाता है.
mm.
मुझे
Right.
I like to see कि अंत में सब ठीक होगा. So
Mm,
unless,
mm,
so I want to be a part of that where somebody just finishes a film or a show and says कि देखा end में सब ठीक हुआ. So I am a hopeful person by nature and I like to see that kind of. It can be thriller, it can be comedy, it can be suspense, it can be horror, but it has to have a hopeful
mm.
and happy ending.
And what's next in Bollywood? Are we going to see you in Bollywood soon?
Oh, yes. There are two. One film I've already shot for, which is a small part, and another one that I'm shooting for. Both of them are actually very serious films.
And you
But
say you want to do good
yeah,
comedy ones also.
but why not? I mean, I think slowly, but they're very interesting films with very,
Mm,
very interesting directors. I really wanted to work with them.
mm.
So yeah, so hopefully in 2026, both of them should come out and we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Satish.
Thank you,
And see you
Sarika.
on 14th.
See you. Yeah, see you on 14th.